We need Arcades! Yes! Alright, so Anointed Peacekeeper. 3/3 vigilance for 3, already fine stats. As Anointed Peacekeeper enters the battlefield, look at opponent's hand, then choose any spell card name. Spells your... Yeah. Okay. Seems good. Just a nice way to slow down the opponent. It's not a 3/1 flyer that does the same thing. But it's still good, right? It's no, Paolo, but there you are. Archangel of Wrath. 3/4, kicker that. And or this. Oh, like the old, Raka Volver. Like the Volvers. The Volvers all had alternate kickers. Okay. Or the Battle Mages. From Invasion. Okay. So 2 damage to 2 damage to any target. Yeah, that's a stupid strong card. Cool. Yeah, this is really good. Okay. Danitha, Benalia's Hope. Art by Magali, very nice. First strike, vigilance, lifelink, 5 mana, 4/4, enters battlefield or your hand or graveyard. Okay. I think that, you know, it's just good enough stats on its own that you don't have to have the aura or equipment work. Yeah, it does the damage, so you get the lifelink too. Absolutely. Yeah. This card is just stupid. Like, it's gross and annoying and grr. So this is gonna be good enough with stats just to run normally. So, and the auras, unfortunately, that I've seen as far as white goes are all things that you don't want to attach to Danitha. The ones that you're really excited to run are the ones that are removal. And I haven't seen that much equipment that I'm really excited to run for this, but it's still okay. Yeah, she's still just fine on the stat. Yeah, Hammerhand would be good. If we were doing Boros, that'd be fine. Curiosity's okay. I think they're already going to want to kill Danitha. So Curiosity, the +1 doesn't really something you want to like get 2 for 1 that way, but maybe. Defiler of Faith. Vigilance 5/5. As an additional cost to cast white permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. What? Phyrexian mana? As an additional cost to cast, you can play... Can you do this over and over again? It looks like you can only pay it once for the spell, right? So if I played Defiler of Faith and then I played Archangel of Wrath, I could pay 2 life once and then do 2 in a white. I don't think you can pay 2 life for each pip. Not the way it's worded. You can reduce the cost by 1 white by paying 2 life, right? Once per spell. So I think that's what this does. We got it. This is still stupid. This is still dumb, and it's a 5/5 vigilance for 5, which is already good stats for limited. And then you can also do that. Whenever you cast a white permanent spell, create a 1/1. That's just stupid. Okay, let's just take this card. Like, so far, just take all these cards. They're all good. Guardian, I haven't seen something bad yet. Guardian of New Benalia. 2, so it's a bear plus enlist plus scry 2 whenever it enlists something. Discard a card, gains indestructible intent of end of turn. What's it where you discarded a card to give it indestructible? Hallowed something, Fellblade, or what? It was some sort of bullshit thing. That, yeah, this is even more bullshit. Hallowblade, yeah. This is even more bullshit. Okay. Gross. Do. Okay, so this card is going to see standard play most likely, because that's dumb. All right, because most things that did that, like Adanto Vanguard and the 3 and the Hallowblade did this. So yeah, okay. Leyline Binding, 1 less to blah. This is fine. It's not what I would count as a rare. Yeah, so it's a cast out with some upside, and without the cycling. So I don't know that this deserves to be rare. Like, this is the first rare that I'm not excited about. But I think this is sort of more high uncommon level. Like, it's a really good first pick uncommon, but I don't think it's anything more than that. Sarah Paragon, two. I'm already gonna hate this, aren't I? All right, 4 mana, 3/4 flying. Once you can. So it's like Lurrus, but better because it's mana value 3 or less. Although at least when they die, they get exiled rather than they can just keep replaying them. It's still stupid and limited. That's still just dumb. Okay. Yeah, this is gross. And yeah. Okay. I'm gonna hate seeing that on the board against me. Sarah Redeemer, 5 mana, 2/4. Whenever the creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, put 2+1/+1 counters on that creature. That's good. It's a good card. I wish this was like a 1/3 for 3, like an 0/2 for 3 or something. I don't know. Just make it a little bit smaller so that when I start playing. But it does mean that your late game 2 powers are so much more effective. I think it's still really good. So this is going to make that remember, okay, in the beginning I was telling you that make 3 1/1 soldier tokens at sorcery speed for 4, 3 and a white. I think that was going to be good. This is the card that makes that really good. And white wants to go wide, and we have a lot of tokens. So I think Sarah Redeemer is actually going to be very good at making the things that would be not so great late game really good. So I really like this. I just wish it were a little cheaper and a little smaller. I would be totally fine with that. This does mean that it's harder to kill, certainly. There's the lockdown. Yeah, see, we have Rona's Vortex, temporary lockdown. I swear, it was like pandemic time. Temporary lockdown, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. So this is for the control decks against aggro. Can you smell what the rocks is cooking? Oh god, what is this? Urza assembles the Titans. Olympus is that way. Scry 4. Planeswalker card. Put it into your hand. That's useless and limited. Okay. You may put a you may activate the loyalty. Okay, yeah, this is not a limited card. This is not a playable card in limited. I'm sorry. Even if you have one Planeswalker, it's still not worth it. I promise you. All right. Valiant Veteran. If you get 3, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. All right. Valiant Veteran. 2 mana, 2/2. Other soldiers you control. You'd rather just play the damn... Anyway. Urza assembles the bad constructed build around that costs 5 mana for some reason. Yeah. It would be limited if this was War of the Spark, yeah. Valiant Veteran, 2 mana, 2/2. Other soldiers. Oh, it's a Soldier Lord. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So those cards that I was talking about get way better. Way better. Okay, so from earlier when we were talking about the ones that make the 1/1 soldiers, and I was like, if there's any synergies as far as soldier tokens, period, that these cards are going to get way better. There were some, on the cusp of being okay. This is going to make them playable. So it is other soldiers you control get +1/+1. So this will likely wheel if you're the only one in soldiers, etc. So this seems good. Academy Lore Master, 2 mana, 2/3. At the beginning of each player's draw step, the player may draw an additional card. If they do spells they cast, for the control deck, that's gross. I don't know if I like. Actually, actually it might be a double-edged sword because against aggro doesn't want to draw cards and can play 2 spells per turn until it empties out its hand. Then if you give them ways to draw cards, that's very bad. But I think overall the control is favored. That's a bit tough one. I actually don't know. The math here would be very interesting to see whether playing this out against a super aggressive Boros deck is the right move if you're a control deck. I think against mid-range, it's absolutely the right move. I think in limited, this one's going to be a hard one. I'd actually to evaluate. I really would respect somebody else's expertise over mine in this case. I'm having a hard time figuring out whether it would be like against. I think I would run it against mid-range, but unfortunately, since you're mostly doing best of 1 here, in traditional, I'd run it as a sideboard card, absolutely, or I'd run it for main deck and then I'd sideboard it out against an aggro deck. but I think it might not be good against an aggro deck, which is well, actually, it's still a 2/3. I don't know. This one's hard. My gut feeling says it's really good for a control deck. This is definitely a card that will reward you for playing all those negates and essence scatters and all the other counter spells. I really hate that. Blue is just pure counter spells. I hate this. So far, what I've seen in blue, I really hate it. Everything else looks great, but blue just looks like the deck that's going to sit back and counter everything. You think Storm Racer, those decks will get valued 1-for-1 doesn't work well enough in today's Magic. Storm, that's a really good point. We have noticed that everything is a 2-for-1 these days. And that can make the negate and essence scatter less potent than they would normally be. And counter magic, as we've said, always is better when you're ahead, and almost awful when you're behind, because it doesn't impact the board. So, you know, maybe Storm Racer, maybe it'll be better now. I hope so. I really do. Because that'll be miserable if not. All right, so Ether Channeler. 2 and a blue, 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. So you can get a mana war, except not only for creatures, non-land permanents. You can create a 1/1 white creature token just to get 2 bodies on the board, which is really good. Or you can draw a card. That's fucking sick. Okay, this card is so good. All right, yep, that's exciting. Cosmic Epiphany. Look at that artwork. Wow. 6 mana. Draw cards equal to the number of instants. No. Sorcery speed? No. Sorry. Not exciting. Okay. Defiler of Dreams. 5 mana, 4/3 flyer. As an additional cost to cast blue permanent spells. Oh, this is the other Phyrexian thing. Whenever you cast a blue... Yeah, God. Alright. Why are those mythics? Anyway, moving along. Okay, Haughty Djinn. 3 mana, X4... Power equal to numbers. Yeah, this is very good. Not only do you get the discounts for the instants and sorceries that you cast, which is just good for 3 mana period, it's also an X4 flyer that holds up the early game. And always things like that, like Enigma Drake and the other things were always playable. Anyway, Haughty Djinn is good. Silver Scrutiny. If X is 3 or less, you can cast it as though it had flash. Draw X cards. Yeah, that card's good. So it's not in source. Oh, but it has. So yeah. So this is Jace's Ingenuity at worst, right? If it's 3, right? I like this one. It also depends on how fast the format is, again, but I think this card is good. Sphinx of Clear Skies, 5 mana, 5/5 flying, ward 2, already dumb. Whenever Sphinx deals combat damage to player, reveal the top X cards where X is an opponent's separate. Fact or fiction, depending on how many domains you have. Yeah, okay. Okay, that card is stupid. Yay. You don't even need domain focus for this. This is just a still stupid card. Phasing of Zhalfir. Okay. Zhalfir, so Zhalfir. 2 and 2 blue. Another target non-land permanent phases out. It can't phase in for as long as you control this. Destroy all creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 2/2 black Phyrexian creature token. Huh, okay. All right, so you could go to phase 2, phase out one of your permanents, go to phase 3, destroy all creatures. This would only be really good, though, against a non-aggro deck, because an aggro deck is like, you replaced all my creatures with 2/2s? Yay! So I'm not sure I like this that much. Because blue usually wants to remove aggro. It doesn't usually want to remove... Blue can usually deal with big creatures by tapping them down, right? Like with the common, right, that stuns it for 3 turns. It's good against... Yeah, it's good against big green decks. It's good against big decks. It's reasonable if you also have tokens in the like blue-white token deck and you want to upgrade your 1/1s to 2/2s. But if you have the soldier synergies, the black 2/2 zombies aren't going to be great. I think there's a lot of times where this is going to be very bad. Except that the phasing out is a nice trick for a couple turns. I think because it can be just removal for a couple turns, it might just be worth it no matter what. And you just have to make sure you kill him before it kills everything. Or that all your creatures are small and you don't mind having 2/2. Vesuvian Duplomancy. Okay. That art is pretty epic too. 4 mana. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or creature you control, create a token as a copy of that. Oh. This would be so much fun to put the Hammer Hand deck in. Just put like mono creatures, Hammer Hands, and Vesuvian Duplomancy. That sounds great. Wiley Beckert. Yeah, the art is so good. Orvar on an enchantment. Yeah. Harder to remove, thank goodness. Now this is the type of thing. It is a mythic, so I'm not really sure we're playing around that. But so far, I have seen a number of enchantments such that Broken Wings may be main deckable in Best of One. And the destroy target, the red card, the destroy target artifact, less so far. We'll see. We have to get to the artifacts and the rares and mythics and stuff. Vodalian Hexcatcher. Oh, it's a Merfolk Lord. Yeah, I don't think there were that many Merfolk that I saw in the set. I did see the 1/3 that adds blue mana to cast an instant sorcery or a kicked spell. So I'm not sure. Vodalian Mindsinger, 3 mana, 3/2/2. Here's another Merfolk, by the way, but it's rare. 1 and a red in this. Okay, so 2+1/+1 counters for each time it was kicked. So for 7 mana, you get a 6/6. Gain control. Whoa! Okay, so this is the Vodalian. Oh no, it's Sea Singer. It's Sea Singer. That's what it's trying to harken back to. See, because she's singing. So yeah, I think this card could be really good in Temur. I think that's definitely a fun card. The only problem with this sort of thing is if they like bounce it or do something crazy, then you get that they get the creature back at instant speed, which worries me. Never like that's always makes me nervous, but still a fine thing. Braid's Arisen Nightmare. Oh boy. 3 mana, 3/3 already good. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent. This shares. If they don't, that player loses 2 life and draw a card. Yeah, and the tokens deck, that's gonna be nuts. All right. Defiler of Flesh. 4 mana, 4/4 menace. Already good. Oh, and it has the... Okay, this is the Phyrexian mana one. Damn. Whenever you cast a black permanent spell, target creature you control gets +1/+1, gains menace until end of turn. I think the blue and the white are better than the black so far. Yeah, weaker but cheaper. Drag to the bottom. Each creature gets -1/X until end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of bases. So domain. Okay, so it's mutilate but domain. Okay. Yeah, I mean against super aggro decks, sure. Oh, max -6/6 because it's X plus 1 plus. Okay, so yeah. So if you have 2 types, that's 3. -3/3 for 4. So it's strictly worse than Languish at that point, but still okay. I wouldn't run it in my own aggressive decks, I don't think. I would probably sideboard it against, so in case I was against the mirror. But it's still fine. Evolved Sleeper. It evolved Pecs is what it did while it slept. I wish I could do that. Pectoral muscles, yes. Okay. 1 black mana for 1/1. Oh, it's a Figure of Destiny type idea. Okay. Human Cleric, base toughness 2. Death text counter becomes a this. Captain America for Phyrexia. Figure of Phyrexia, yeah. +1/+1 counter, and then you draw a card and lose 1 life. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's like a good card. It's not Figure of Destiny good in my opinion, but it's good. You can activate it multiple times over time. Yeah, okay. I'm sold. You can just keep pumping and drawing cards. Yeah, I like it. At the price of 1 life. Plus, we get to look at pecs and abs all day. Look, it's Liliana of the Veil. Is that card any good? So Liliana of the Veil, in Limited, is still very good. It because everything's a 2-for-1 these days, this target player sacrifice a creature, everything makes a token often, especially in white. It might be a little worse than it used to be. I am not sure. How much worse though than it used to be. Still good. Don't get me wrong. Still very good. But it might be a little bit less. Yeah, the power of Liliana is you immediately have to deal with it. Yeah. So she's not as good as she used to be because of power creep and everything being a 2-for-1. And so this is it's going in limited. This is going to be a little bit less than it used to be. So, Shadow Rite Priest, 2 mana, 2/2. Other clerics get +1. So Lord, Cleric Lord, sacrifice another cleric. Search your library for a black creature. What? Well, that's stupid. How many clerics? Somebody count the clerics, please. How many clerics are in this? Wait, only 1 other cleric in black and 3 in white? So there's a total of 8. And no one's gonna pass you this. And almost no one's gonna pass you this. So you have like 6 maybe, and this is only good in the defender deck. Yeah, I don't know that this is gonna be a thing. Alright, anyway. Sheoldred. Sheoldred the Apocalypse. 4 mana, 4/5 Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. Take this card if you get it. What else can I say? Stronghold Arena. 1 and a black enchantment. Kicker Abzan. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. Whatever one or more creatures you control do comments can play, you may reveal the top. Yikes! So you have to run it in a small deck, but... Wait, yeah, Abzan tokens could run this. Abzan tokens could run... We saw an Abzan token deck that could run this as like a splash of one black, yeah. But you can't run expensive spells and hope to actually make it here. It's 1 or more, so at least you're not killing yourself with a large attack with lots of small things. But you just don't want to... Yeah, this one's interesting. I think this could be good, and it could also be horrible, and I think it will depend on your draw a lot of the time. You can't look at it and then choose whether to put it into your hand. You have to either not look at all and not put into hand, or look and put into hand and lose life. So you have to take the gamble. You don't get to look first. So that's the thing here. But yeah, okay. Cruelty of Gix. 5... Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose that planeswalker. Okay, sure. Search your library for a card. Put it. Okay, so Vampiric Tutor for 1 more life. Put target creature card from a graveyard into the battlefield. That's sick. No, this is a better Eldest Reborn. This is still better. You look at their hand, choose a creature or planeswalker card from it, and discard that card. So that's already you get to figure out what's worst for you to take from their hand rather than the random discard of Eldest Reborn. Additionally, the tutor here for 3 life, that's great. So it's a Grim Tutor on 2 for there, and then also put target creature card for that. This is fine. If their hand might be empty, then that means that already you've been fighting over the whole game and that there are good creature cards in the graveyard already. Yeah, and if they have no creature cards that were correct, you just start on 2 because of the read ahead. Yeah, no, this is a very, very good card. It's a very good card. Eldest Reborn was also a very, very good card, but this is very good too. Eldest Reborn can reanimate walkers, but in limited, how relevant is that? How many walkers are you thinking you're gonna have to reanimate? So, but yeah, I think this card is very good. All right, Raven Man. 2 mana, 2/1. Beginning of each end step of a player discarded the card this turn, created a 1/1 black bird creature token with flying, and this creature can't block. Each opponent discards a card for 4 mana. Yeah, this card is good. It's not like stupid, but it's very good. Tyrannical Pit Lord. So let's go see what they did to the Pit Lords here, shall we? 6 mana for a 6/6 Flample. Okay. All right. Where's my sack creature every turn? A tyrannical pet lord enters the battlefield. Choose another creature you control. Oh, no. Look, we don't actually have to sacrifice a creature every turn. We give something +3/+3 and flying. Good lord. Okay, so that's effectively 9 power plus some in the air. Okay, okay. Plus what, like maybe a 1/1 for your token, right? When Tyrannical Pit Lord leaves the battlefield, sacrifice the chosen creature. Sure, whatever, we don't care. Okay, that's stupid. That's stupid too. Opens you up for a 2/1 if it's removed. Yeah, but I don't think you care. I really don't think you care. I mean, unless they can remove it instantly, I really don't think you care. Chances are you're getting in for 4 damage in the air with it, no matter what. And that's just, like, and if they then have to remove that and you remove a small creature, you don't care. Chaotic Transformation, 6 mana. Exile up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target enchantment, up to 1 target... Oh my god, stop. For each permanent exile this way, its controller reveals cards from the... So it's a huge Chaos Warp. Okay, for everything. This could be good if they don't have that many artifacts or enchantments. Or if the land that you get rid of takes some off-domain stuff, I guess. You're not going to have Planeswalkers, most likely. And you can hope for the creature. For me, I just sort of like, I'm like, I don't like your 6/6. And they're like, cool, I'll find a Tarask. No, something like that, but like it's bad. So, you can warp your own stuff too, absolutely. But in that case, I'll find my little 1/1. Boop. It can go very, very well. And it can go very, very poorly. With my luck, I'm going to stay away from this card most often. Okay, so Defiler of Instinct is the next Phyrexian one. 4/4 for 4 for a strike, already really good. Do the thingy. Whenever you cast a red permanent spell, it deals 1... Yep, seems good. Seems very good. All right, so the weakest of them so far is Defiler Flesh, the black one. I think the blue one is the best, followed by the white one, followed by the red one. Although the red one's really good in its deck, and it's cheaper. So I think the white and the red are really close. But the blue one's the best by far. And the black one's the worst by far so far. All right, Jaya. Poor Jaya. 4 mana, 4 Planeswalker. Already good stats. +1, create a 1/1. Protects itself. Nice. Exile top 2 cards. Choose one of them. Nice. Choose target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, it deals damage equal to the number of attacking. Nice. Okay, all right. Yeah, good card. Great, take it. Keldon Flame Sage. 3 mana, 2/3 enlist. When it attacks, look at the top X cards. You may exile an instant or sorcery card with mana value X or less. So let's just say that it's 2. We're not going to enlist yet. If it's 2, you can exile an instant or 2, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. You may cast the exile without paying its mana cost. Oh boy. I think it's pretty darn good. I don't think it's like a, you know, a bomb, but I think it's good. Especially if you get some lightning strikes. I think it's very good. Without paying its mana cost makes this a very good card. All right. Rada's Firebrand, 2 for a 3/1 fine. Target creature powers. Nice! This is a good card in the red aggro decks. 6 mana, gets this. 1 less for the domain. Interesting. I don't think I like domain with this aggro card. I really don't want domain with this aggro card. It's just good on its own. But it's not a rare, necessarily, a power on its own. It's like a high uncommon. Or a very, very low rare. Yeah, I don't want this in a domain deck. I want to have to pay, like, I don't want to... Yeah. It's definitely what you want in the red aggressive decks. Absolutely. The problem is the domain decks, I don't know how aggressive they can actually get. Like, the green-red might get there, but I still don't think you're going to want to mess it with it as far as just... I mean, I think you just want to go Gruul, period, and I don't think you want to go all the other domains, but... all right. Ragefire Hellkite. 6 mana for a 5/3 flying. When it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, it gets double strike and on a turn. Cute. All right, this is a good card, but because it's 3 toughness, it's a lot of investment for not great. Yeah, I mean, it has lightning strike in this, definitely. It's still good. It's still good. It's just a little bit of a risk. Oh. Did goblins need another lord? 1 and a red for a 1/1. Other goblins get +1/+1. Whenever it or another goblin you control dies, exile a top card. If it's a goblin creature card, you may cast the card until the end of next turn. Oh, man. This is standard, or constructed. In other words, other constructeds. This is dumb for constructed. I don't think it makes it. I don't think you pick this in this set. Yeah, this is just gonna be a pass this around the table thing, unless you get like a million of. Wow, and another one's of those rare. Damn, Shivan Devastator is stupid. Just take that card. It's a scalable flying haster. I mean, what more do you want? Squee Dubious Monarch. Sitting on a throne with his toy. I love the toy. All right, 2/2 for 3 haste. When it attacked, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. You may cast it from your graveyard by paying 4 and exiling 4 other cards. So it's got escape, essentially. I don't like this one that much. I like the other versions of Squee better. I don't think this is that good. Temporal Firestorm, 5 mana, kicker blah. Maybe Jaya wouldn't be dead if her spells didn't cost so much to cast. Cheers, dang. Have fun. All right, Temporal Firestorm, 5 mana, kicker, 1 in a white and 1 in a blue. Okay. Choose up to X creatures and/or planeswalker where X is the number of times the spells those permanents phase out. Deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. I think it's still good for doing it for 7, though. And sometimes you just want the 5 damage. All right, so this is a Fino Crap button. It just deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That's a key note in case your opponent has any in limited, which is really nice to just kill. And this stops the aggression, so this will be good for the control decks, and I'm annoyed. The Elder Dragon Ward, 2 and 2 red. The Elder Dragon Ward deals 2 damage to each creature and each opponent. Yeah, you're going to want that in the controlling decks. Discard any number of cards and draw that many cards. Create a 4/4 dragon. It's it. 4 mana, 4/4 flyer. Sure, for 4, this is a great card. Just take it. All right, Briar Hydra, 6 mana, 6/6 trample. Already, that's fine. In green, when it deals combat damage to a player, put it X+1 on target creature you control, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. All right, there's more for my domain deck. I don't think it's a really, really high pick, but it's still good. All right, Defiler of Vigor. Here's the Phyrexian thing. 5 mana, 6/6 trample. Eat your heart out, 6 mana, 6/6 trample. Whenever you cast... Okay, that's stupid. Why is this rare? Why are these rare? Why aren't these mythic? Herd Migration, 7 mana to make a 3/3 green beast creature token for each basic land type among lands you control, which would be a maximum of 5. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it to your... So you get rewarded for having doubles of these. I don't think this is worth it. Because it doesn't even put it into the battlefield. Even this is not a rampant growth. I mean, I suppose it makes it vaguely usable early game and vaguely usable late game. It depends on how slow the format is. But if you could have multiples of these, it would be so good. So I think it's decent. Like, it's decent. I just don't think it's a bomb. Like, it's not... Like, when you put it next to these 2 cards, you're just like, eh. So anyway, Leaf Crown Visionary. 2 for a 1/1 other... So it's an Elf Lord. Okay, there are way more elves. I don't think this is going to be a high pick, but I think it's fine. All right, Llanowar Green Widow. 4/3 for 3 is already good. Reach and Trample. Okay. And, you know, an added upside seems good. Return it from your grave to the battlefield tapped. It gains if this permanent would leave, exile it. This ability costs what? Yeah, good card. Good card. Okay, I like it. Not a bomb, but I like it. It's a very, very serviceable rare and first pickable. Not super exciting, but first pickable. Llanowar Loam Speaker. So there's another elf for things, as we saw in the thing. Add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, that's going to be really important in this. Target land you control becomes... Okay, so this makes lands into creatures for the Tatyova if that's what you do. I still don't think you... Sorry, I just saw the gorilla on the right. That looks exciting. Activate only as... Yeah, so this is a good card. I like it. Quirion Beast Caller. Throwback to Quirion Elves. 1 and a green, 2/2. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a... Oh. Yeah, that card's good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Not a huge bomb, but still very, very good. Can ramp up. Get bigger. Yeah, making 3/3 by only tapping is nice. It does make your lands vulnerable, but it's very good late game too. And the ramp is really, really nice here too. And fixing. So beast color gets bigger and bigger, and then also not only that, but it's less of a feel bad because when it dies, you get to actually keep those +1/+1 counters and redistribute them. So that's really nice. And now we get to my gorilla, which I love this art. This art is stunning. 5 mana, 5/7. Okay, that's not okay. Number start. Whenever you cast a creature spell, choose one. Aura shards. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can put a land from the. Okay, or gain 4 life. Yeah, that seems good. All right, this is a mean card in limited. Yay. All right, the world spell. 7 mana. Look at top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-saga permanent card from among them, put it into your hand. Not into play? For 7 mana? What? For 7 mana, I can tooth and nail, you freak. Why? Why is this mythic? Like, no. I don't see this being, like, unless you have, like, all the time in the world, literally, to go, I'm gonna go find the best card out of here and the best card out of here and then put them both on the battlefield. Like I don't see this card as very good. I'm willing to be wrong, absolutely. But I don't see this card as very good. All right, threats undetected. 2 and a green source. Search the library for up to 4 creature cards with different powers and reveal them. Oh, it's another, okay. All right, got it. So like the wilds or whatever it was that we had that was search for up to 4 lands with different names or whatever, and this 4 creature cards with different powers. Okay. So it's fetch 2 creatures, basically. Different powers, though, is interesting. Different names would be cool. So this is a fine card. It's getting 2 creature cards for 1 spell. It's okay. Urborg Lurgoyf. 2 mana, 1 and X and 1/X. Kicker blue and black. Enters the battlefield. Mill 3 cards for each time it was kicked. Its power is equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and it's yeah. Meh. It's fine. Sten, Paranoid Partisan. Okay, Azorius 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, choose a card type other than creature or land. Spells you cast with the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. Alright. Exile it, return it so you can re-choose. Okay. Good in artifact and enchantment. Good in instant or sorcery, but the instant sorcery that I've seen, I'd rather be in Dimir or is it? So this is an odd thing to see in the blue-white where the tokens were better. I don't know. This seems out of place in its colors currently. I think it's better in constructed than limited. The blinking ability at instant is pretty good because it can block forever. Urtai resurrected. And resurrected with somebody else's arms as well. Like you do. Right to bear arms. Only 4 of them. Whatever. Okay. All right. Flash 3/2 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, choose up to 1. Counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. Its controller draws a card. Destroy another target creature. Planeswalker. Its controller draws a card. Seems good. I mean, yes, the opponent gets to draw a card, but like if you destroyed a good creature, you don't care. Rivas of the Claw. 3 mana, 3/3. Already good with Menace. Holy shit, that's good. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana to only cast dragon creature spells. I might put this in my 5-color dragon deck. Once during each of your turn, you may cast it. Whoa! Well, this is already just good as the 3/3 Menace. I would play this no matter whether you have dragons or not. Nice. This is good. All right. It's not a bomb unless you have a lot of dragons, like but it's a very good card, just period. Myria, Scholar of Antiquity. 1 a green and a red. Tap an... Am I reading this right? Tap an untapped non-token artifact you control. Add green. Tap 2 untapped art. Wow. This seems pretty darn good. It's a bit of a build around, but it's really good, I think. I mean, I think it's nuts in EDH is what I think it is. And it probably can do stupid things in standard. With the amount of artifacts in Neo? Interesting. Anyway, I think this card is very good. I think that you can definitely build around it really well. It's still a 3/3 for 3, so it's still good stats no matter what, even if you're just in Gruul. But it can ramp you with the artifacts. Like I really like this card. I think this is very good. I think it's interesting, moreover, so that's really fun. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And then we get to the lovely Ajani. Completed. So if life was paid, enters with 2 fewer loyalty counters. So it'll enter as a 2 rather than a 4 if you play it for 3 rather than 4 mana. So 3 and 2 lives rather. Reveal the top of your library. If it's a creature planeswalker card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it on the bottom. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among up to 3 target creatures that gain vigilance until end turn. Get an emblem with whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. Okay. I'm not impressed with the +1. This doesn't protect itself very well. You need to have creatures on the battlefield before you really want to play this card. And it only looks at just the top. But 4 mana for 4 loyalty is not that bad. I'm not really impressed with this one. I think Jaya is way better than this card. I mean, if you've ramped out a lot of creatures early, then it's great. But if you stumbled, I think it's not great. It doesn't protect itself. And the top thing can whiff, right? So yeah, I'm not as much a fan of this as I am of Jaya. King Darian, the whatever the hell the Roman numeral is. Other creatures you control. Oh, it's okay. It's a anthem here. 2/3 +1/+1 and create a what? Yeah, this card is nuts. Okay, take that. That's good. Rada Drabik of Urborg. So this card is great. I love this card. I would build around this card definitely. I would first pick that. Rada Drabik of Urborg. 4 mana, 3/3 vigilance. For 2 other zombies you control have vigilance. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary, and it's a 2/2. Wow, okay. There's a lot of legendaries in this, but you'd have to get all of them to that be very, very good. So you're not playing this to give your other zombies vigilance. You're playing this if you have a lot of legendaries so that you keep getting them back as 2/2 zombies. They're creating so many of these lords with no payoffs. Goblin dude, not much. Elf dude, a little more, but still not much. Merfolk, next to nothing. Zombies, nada. For limited, this is just not great. But this one at least has another ability, right? That doesn't care about zombies alone. So it cares about legendaries. I mean, there are a lot of legendaries. Joyra, Ageless Innovator. Is it 2/3? Put 2 ingenuity counters on it. Then you may put an artifact card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the number of ingenuity counters. Cool. So it accelerates you into artifacts. It ether vials artifacts. Nice. Okay. Seems good. Remember that this means that those artifacts can't be countered. Not that you're usually going to be that worried about that, but yeah. She's firing cannons. Why isn't she firing cannons in this? That's weird. Yeah, and at instant speed, right? So that's nice. Nemata Primeval Warden. 4 mana, 3/4 reach. If a creature an opponent controls die, exile it instead. When you do create a 1/1... Sacrifice... Is this Kalitas? 1 and a black, sacrifice 2 saplings, draw a card. It's better than Kalitas in some ways. Doesn't have lifelink. And doesn't create 2/2s. But wow. Yeah. Yeah, Kalitas at home. Yeah, definitely. This is really good. This is really, really good. Okay. All right. That's really good. All right. Let's get to Astor, Bearer of Blades. 4/4 for 4. Good stuff. Look at the top 7 cards. You can reveal a vehicle. How many vehicles are in this? We'll get to those in a sec. All right. So it's just equipment, really, because you're probably not having the rares or mythics necessarily. But equipment maybe. Put it into your hand. Equipment you have. Equip 1. Oh, this is gonna break some decks in standard. Is the hammer still around? Is the Colossus hammer still? It's not legal still in standard, right? But it's legal in like historic and stuff. Wow. Okay, that's the thing. Vehicles you control of crew 1. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so this is not really for this set necessarily. It's not going to shine in this set. It's still going to be good because it's good stats, and you might get an equipment card. But and if you happen to have a rare vehicle, maybe you get it. But this is I think going to be stupid and constructed. Wow. Okay. All right. Gross. And great artwork. Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief. So, okay, Simic, 2/1 flyer, already fine stats. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. Okay. So the +1/+1 hexproof could also target Ivy. Like, there's not a lot that is in the set that you really want to double target. With Ivy, like, yeah. It's still a fine card, but not very exciting. Zur, Eternal Schemer. All right, what do they do to Zur? Also, that art is pretty intense. All right, enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. Target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types and has base power and toughness. You can start attacking with your Leyline Binding. Attacking with Sagas is not going to be great. Well, it's another way to get value out of them if you're not worried about getting off the last mode. I'm not sure that this is worth it. All right, Solkanar the Tainted. 5/5 for Grixis and 2. At the beginning of your end step, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Draw a card. Each opponent loses 2 life and gain 2 life. Deals 3 damage to up to one other target creature or planeswalker. Exile it and then bring it back. Whoa. Seems good. Anyway, Solkanar seems really good if you can get it into play. Just keep passing it back and forth. Hope you kill them before it has to do that. Yeah. Soul of Windgrace. 4 mana with a Jund. 5/4. Cat. It's a kitty! Oh, but why is it Jund then? I can't put that in my EDH cat deck. Anyway. Soul of Windgrace. When it ever enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield. Okay, from a graveyard, though. That's not hugely important. Discard a land card and gain 3 life. Discard a land card, draw a card. Discard a land card, it gains indestructible attack. Okay. Alright. If you have a ton of land in hand, this is fine. But you're not going to be able to get value. Like, it would be cool if they put back into your hand. That would be so cool. Probably too cool. I don't know really why this needs to be mythic. It's good. Not sure why that's mythic, though. All right. But then again, I haven't been impressed with this mythic either, or this as much as I'd like. Like, the rares are just better. Like, this rare is better than these mythics. And the Phyrexian rares are just better than those mythics, and this rare is better than those mythics, and this rare is nuts better than those mythics. Anyway, Rith, Liberated Primeval Dragon. Okay, 5 mana with Naya, 5/5 flying Ward 2. This is a very good card. Other dragons you control have Ward 2. At the beginning of your end step, if a... Whoa! Okay, that's stupid. Take that card. That's mythic. Yeah, that deserves mythic. Absolutely. Shana, Purifying Blade. Bant, 3/3 lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, you can pay X. If you do draw X cards, X can't be greater than the life you've had to... Okay. Alright, as long as it survives, having dealt 3, you can pay 3 and get off 3 cards. So this is a payoff for the lifelink that we saw. Okay, there are payoffs for lifelink. So that 2/1 that when it taps, you gain a life and you scry, that's actually going to get way better in decks like this. So, all right, I'm happier with what we saw in the past. So this is a very good card. All right. Okay. So this is for my 5-color Jank EDH deck. Legendary creatures you control get +X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, exile cards from your hand. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. I think this is more of my Jank EDH deck and not main deckable. But maybe you get all 5 colors super happily. I don't know. And you get Timeless Lotus to play it with. I don't know. And a million legendaries. Yeah, it's Legendary Cascade. Yes. So here's the Lotus. Again, this is for my Jank EDH deck. I don't think it's very good in limited. Golden Argosy is a good card. 4 mana, 3/6, crew 1 is just good. Then you get to ETB things, flicker things. That's really... Oh, beginning of the next end step. That's a little awkward. But that's only on attacks, not blocks. So that's fine. So yeah, this card is very good. Karn. I don't like this card. It doesn't protect itself. 2 Impulse. This is not a good card. Create a tapped treasure token. Essentially. Although you don't have to sacrifice it, right? And the mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. That's no. This is not good. This is a very disappointing Karn. Your butt flap is very disappointing. Anyway. Butt flap Karn. Karn's Silex blanks fetches. 3 mana, enters the battlefield tapped. Players can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Yeah. X and tap, exile it, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's Pernicious Deed in the form of an artifact that also blanks fetches. Except Deed could be blown at instant speed, I think. I'm not sure. I forget. I'd have to look. So this is a good Wrath in limited. I think the control players will want this. Weatherlight completed 2/5/5. As long as it has 4 or more Phyresis counters on it, it's a Phyrexian creature in addition to its other types. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a Phyresis counter on it. Then draw a card if it has 7 or more. If it doesn't, scry 1. So it just sits on the battlefield until you have 4 creatures die. But it does scry. So you scry every time a creature of your controls die. Once it hits 4, then it's a creature. And then after that, once it hits 7, you draw a card when a creature dies. You control. Not other creatures, but not your opponent's creatures, but a creature. Yeah, that's good. Or the one guy that crews 1. Yeah, like if you can play this with it, you crew it for 1. Yay, alternate crew cost. It's not a bad thing to do on 2, especially if you have the sack deck that we've seen, the token sacrifice deck. That seems pretty good. All right, so then we have the Painlands. And then we have Plaza of Heroes. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a legendary spell. Add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. Okay, that's kind of cool. 3, exile it. Target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible. It's versatile, but yeah, okay. I don't mind that. It's not first pickable, I don't think, but it's a card. This is harkening back to Sulphurous Fangs. Oh, watch this. Ice Age! Look at it! Look at it. It's so cute! And eventually, it sat there long enough that... There you go. Alright, so Thrawn Portal enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. Okay, so it's a fast land. Okay. As it enters the battlefield, choose a basic land type. It's a chosen type into addition to its other types. Oh, it's a gate! Oh, for the gates deck. Okay. Mana abilities if this cost an additional 1 life to act. Oh my god, no! Alright, that's not a high pick. I think it goes in some constructed gate decks. Absolutely. Yeah, bad City of Brass. Alright. Anyway, okay. So that is the complete set. Which is interesting. I think it should be fun. I'm a little worried about blue being like pure counter magic. It seems less thrilling than it could be. Otherwise, let's close some things.